every day. You wake up with ambition burning faintly, like an ember in the dark. You tell yourself that today will be different. Today, you will be disciplined, focused, sharp. Yet another day slips through your fingers like sand. The mind wanders. The hand reaches for the phone. Hours evaporate, and the once bright ember becomes smoke. There is something inside you draining your strength, dissolving your attention, weakening the warrior you could become. A silent parasite that has infiltrated your habits, your thoughts, and your identity. You feel it, you know it, but you cannot name it. Not yet. By the end of this journey, you will. And once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it again. Because this is not just about productivity or focus. This is about the death of the man you are and the birth of the man you were meant to be. Silence, breath, listen closely. Now, the gates open. Chapter 1. The modern weakness. Morning. You roll over. Light hits your eyes. Before your feet ever touch the ground, your thumb slides across a glowing screen. A hit of dopamine. Another and another. Short videos. Messages. Endless scrolling. 10 minutes become 30. 30 becomes 60. You know you should stop, but you stay. A prisoner, shackled by invisible chains. You tell yourself, just one more minute. A lie you've told yourself 1,000 times. You sit to work, but nothing flows. You stare at the screen. You open tabs, then close them, then open them again. The mind feels foggy, scattered, weak. You think, why can't I focus? Why do I keep doing this? What's wrong with me? And in that dealant question is the truth. You have betrayed yourself so many times that your brain no longer believes your commands. You have trained your mind to expect distraction. You have built comfort where there should be discipline. You have rewarded weakness instead of strength. The modern man has become a servant to impulse, a consumer of noise, a spectator of other people's lives. And deep down, you feel the shame of wasted potential, a quiet self-disgust that grows each night when you realize you are not who you promised yourself you would be. Yes, this is you, and it has been for far too long. But there was a time when men were forged differently. Chapter 2. The Ancient Door. Hundreds of years ago in Japan, before the world softened men's spirits, samurai lived with a code sharper than any blade they carried. Their life was a constant meditation on death, discipline, and mastery. No noise, no distractions, only purpose. There is a story of Miyamoto Musashi, undefeated in over 60 duels. While others trained only their sword, Musashi trained his mind, his spirit, his habits. He understood something we have forgotten. Victory is won long before the battle begins. He followed a doctrine known as Dokodo, the way of walking alone. 21 rules for a mind unbreakable. Not motivation, not inspiration, identity. To walk the way was to kill the weakness inside. This knowledge was never meant for the comfortable, only for those ready to burn, who they are to become, who they must be. Today, you will walk through the same door, but every door to power demands something in exchange. A sacrifice. Chapter 3. The Broken Man. His name was Ryo, not a warrior, not a legend, just an ordinary man. He worked an office job he never loved. He scrolled through life, not living it. Every night he promised himself he would change. Every morning he broke that promise. His body softened. His dreams faded. His confidence evaporated. He would look at himself in the mirror and feel a quiet humiliation. He remembered the boy he once was, fierce, ambitious, unstoppable, and wondered where that boy went. Rio had a wife who watched him slowly disappear, a son who asked why he was always tired, a father who no longer saw greatness in his eyes. The world did not break him. He broke himself. One day, after missing a deadline at work, after his boss spoke to him like he was replaceable, after noticing his wife no longer looked at him with admiration but with disappointment, Rio sat alone in his car and felt the weight of his wasted potential crush his chest. He whispered, "I am not this man. I refuse to remain him." And in that moment, that silent collapse, he surrendered. He begged for a way forward, and the way answered. Chapter 4. The First Law. Cut the Noise. When Ryo searched for a path, he found Musashi's writings. The first law that pierced him like a blade. Do nothing that is of no use. He read it again and again. The words shook him, because his life was built entirely on things of no use. The samurai knew every distraction is an enemy. Every wasted moment is a dull blade. A warrior cannot afford noise. Modern psychology agrees. Every time you break focus for a notification, a scroll, a quick glance, your brain spends minutes rebuilding attention. The mind is like a sword, sharp only when single-minded. So, Ryo made his first cut. He deleted his social apps, turned off notifications, removed the glowing icons that called to him like demons whispering for weakness. His hands trembled. The urge to open them was like an itch inside his bones. The parasite screamed. This was the hidden habit, destroying your focus every day. The ritual of constant stimulation, micro-distraction, dopamine addiction. Ryo felt the withdrawal, the restlessness, the boredom. His mind sought escape, but there was nowhere left to hide. Silence, resistance. This was only the beginning. Chapter 5. The Second Law. Embrace the sharp edge. Days passed. Ryo began waking early, before sunrise. Not because he wanted to, because he needed to. The second law he adopted. Seek solitude and train when others sleep. Samurai understood that growth is forged in discomfort. Modern science calls it deliberate struggle. The brain rewires only under pressure. So Ryo ran in the cold morning air, lungs burning, legs heavy. He trained when the world was silent. He read instead of browsed. He sat with his thoughts instead of fleeing them. There were nights he wanted to quit, times when failure whispered, "You are the same weak man. Stop pretending." But each time he endured a little longer. Each time he pushed past the edge where he used to break, something inside him hardened. The craving for distraction weakened. The mind sharpened. He came home drenched in sweat, but his eyes had a new glint. Hunger. If you're still watching, then you are no ordinary viewer. You are someone who seeks transformation, not comfort. Subscribe now, so you never miss these teachings. You will need them in the days ahead. Ryo felt a shift, but the greatest battle was yet to come. Chapter 6. The third law: kill the old self. Weeks passed. Routine became ritual. But the final law he discovered was the most brutal. To be reborn, one must willingly die. This was not about the body, it was about identity. Rio realized his old self. The procrastinator, the scroller, the weak man, was not a habit to change, but a life to bury. He began rejecting invitations to late-night drinks with friends. They mocked him. They said he was obsessed, said he changed. He had, and he paid for it, with loneliness, with doubt, with the pain of becoming someone others no longer recognized. His wife watched him with confusion, then curiosity, then awe. Not because he spoke of change, but because he lived it. He lost people, but he found himself. The old identity fought to survive. Every morning, it tried to pull him back into convenience, comfort, distraction, and every morning he killed it again. Chapter 7: The Final Trial. The crisis arrived without warning. His company announced layoffs. Panic flooded the office. Men who once acted confident now begged quietly in their hearts. Rio was called into the meeting room. His pulse slowed, breath calm, eyes steady. His boss looked at him differently, not as the man who once slacked, but as the man who now carried himself like a blade. Instead of firing him, they offered him a promotion, a role with more pressure, more responsibility, more eyes watching. The old Rio would have trembled. The new Rio simply nodded. Weeks later, when deadlines stacked high and the team faltered, everyone looked to him. The moment felt like war, chaos, uncertainty, fear. Rio stepped forward. He led, not with panic, but with presence, direction, stillness. A man who once drowned in tasks was now the calmest in the storm. He stayed late, focused for hours without distraction, cut through complexity like a sword through bamboo. His team followed him, trusted him, became stronger under his discipline. And when the project succeeded, the room fell silent. Everyone knew something rare had emerged. The weak man had died. A warrior had taken his place. Chapter 8: The Silent Aftermath. Life changed. Rio walked differently, spoke less, listened more. People treated him with a subtle caution, respect mixed with fear. Friends who mocked him now sought his advice. His wife looked at him like a king, not a boy. His son watched him train and copied his movements. Power radiated from him, not loud, but silent like a mountain. He was no longer distracted, no longer reactive, no longer at war with himself. Focus became effortless. Why? Because distraction was no longer an option. Because the habit that once destroyed him had been severed at the root. He did not win by adding more. He won by removing what weakened him. Now it is your turn. You know the habit. You feel its claws in your mind. And you know what must be done today, not tomorrow. You must cut one distraction from your life, not reduce it, not limit it, eliminate it completely. Delete one app, turn off notifications, remove the poison. You will feel resistance, withdrawal, anxiety. Good. That is the old self dying. Do not run from the pain. Walk through it. If you seek comfort, leave now. If you seek transformation, step forward. Subscribe if you want more of these teachings, because each video will carve you deeper into the man you are meant to become. Your trial begins the moment this video ends. Now choose. Die as who you are, or be reborn as who you were meant to be. If you are ready to continue, watch the next video. Your transformation has only begun.